So today we're hauling grain out of our home storage here. We're hauling it to the elevator in town, the local elevator. So I got the Peterbilt started up. That started up great, so the batteries were still good on that. And then we plugged the power unit in. Plugged that in last night, so it started up perfect. So we know the block heater. We got a block heater on the engine and then a heater to heat the oil for the hydraulic system, but that unit there powers everything for these tanks. It unloads and runs the belt for loading, so it's handy to have, and never had problems. If you plug it in, you can always start it in the winter, so that's good. So we'll let these things warm up, and then we'll get this trailer loaded up, head to town. So I got the truck moved around, we started filling it. This is hard red winter that we got in this tank, and we have about 5,000 bushels extra that wasn't contracted already, so we decided to get rid of that on the open market. So that's why we're hauling this stuff to town right now. So there's about 4 to, I don't know, 4.5 loads to go. But this trailer you can overload really easy, so we'll see how far or how many trips we actually have to make. So when Dad and Grandpa put these tanks up about 15 years ago, they thought things through pretty well. They're all cone bottom tanks, so there's no sweep augering. All you gotta do is when it gets down low enough, you just sweep a little ledge around the edge, and that's it. They're pretty much all cleaned out. And then before we go put more grain in it, I mean, they clean out really well, but we just go down there and vacuum a little bit of the grain out in the bottom. But they're all cone bottom tanks, and they're really steep. They're really hard to walk in. And then the other thing they did was put an auger in, a hydraulically driven auger in each one of these, and they're all hooked up to that power unit over there. So as long as that thing's running, we can unload out of any which one of these tanks we want, and we could actually be filling the tanks too if we wanted to, which is nice. And the other thing that's really nice is it keeps the engine noise away from you while you're loading, which is I really like. So it's quiet over here, and that's nice. So I'm sure glad that Dad and Grandpa thought this through and didn't just put up tanks just to put up tanks. So they'll be here for a long time, and we have room to put in. We actually originally started with 4 tanks, and then we put in a 5th, and we have room for 1 more. So we can put in 6 big tanks, and we do have some small tanks on the other side of the farm, or not on the other side, but as you can see, there's some small tanks over there that we can use if we run out of room here. But we haven't been running out of room lately because we've been taking more and more to the open market. We just keep what has to be kept for contract purposes in these tanks. So my brother Travis had to take his son to school. They had a late start today because of weather. So he had to run him to school, but he's actually going to be the one to take the loads to town. So he'll take that when he gets back. But we got some other stuff to do. Some part hard water issues, if you would say, but we'll get to that. So this is what we're dealing with right now. As you can see, right there. If I had to guess, I don't think that's supposed to be there, but I could be wrong here. I mean, I've been farming a while, but I haven't been farming that long. But when you come out here and the water is just spewing out of that, it might have got cold the night before. So that happened a couple weeks ago, or actually not even a couple weeks ago. It was like last week sometime, I think. And it got way colder than I thought it was going to that night. And I came out of my house that morning and I immediately thought of this valve. I go, crap, we forgot to shut that one off. Which, I did this last year too, to one valve. So you'd think I'd learn my lesson, but I'm a hard and slow learner. So we're doing it again this year. And they're like $50 a pop, so oh well. This is joys of farming. But in every other valve water spigot that we have was shut off except this one. And we're using this one to wash off equipment, so that's why it was left on. But so that's what we're up to right now. We're gonna try to get that fixed. We got a valve, which luckily after I broke the one over there, that's the one I broke last year, we ordered 2 of them. So that's what we're changing right now. Might have to take that to the shop. Guess I gotta go get more of this. If you don't have thread sealant all over your gloves, did you really get enough on? All right, so now that that task's done, got the valve all put back on, we are ready for task 2 of the day, and I'm not exactly excited about it. But if you saw my last video, if you haven't, I'll put a link in the description, but go check that out. So the other day, we're moving some mud up there, or moving some dirt on our north farm, and Dad got the tractor stuck. So today we get the pleasure of cleaning it off, washing it off. It's kind of partially why I rebuilt or put that new valve on. So we got to bring in the water truck to make sure everything is drained out of that completely. So this has got to get out. I'll wash it and hopefully have enough room in the shop to bring it back in and let it dry off. That way it thaws out and gets all dried off before we put it away in the shed. Because if not, don't think it's going to dry off. Oscar, huh? What are you doing? Want to go for a ride? Okay, we'll go for a ride. I have absolutely no idea how that got in there, but that is a dead bird. All the windows were shut. Huh. Well, fly away! I don't think he's very good at flying. Huh. Maybe I should take him inside and warm him up. That'll be enough. Travis ended up getting all the loads hauled today, and so all 5,000 bushels are at the warehouse where they need to be. I got the tractor all cleaned off, and we're gonna park it in the shop tonight so it thaws out before it goes in the shed. And hopefully it's not too dirty still, but I already found a spot, if you guys can see that I missed. The joys of washing tractors. But I got the main bulk of all the mud off, so if we decide that it needs washed again, we'll just pull it out on the slab and use the pressure washer, and then it can go in the shed for the winter, or at least until maintenance. But I think that's gonna wrap up this video. So if you guys like the video, you know, click the like button, it helps me out. Subscribe. You know, if you guys got any comments or any questions you want to ask me, just leave me a comment below. I'll leave a link in the description for the video of how this thing, the tractor, got so dang dirty, and we'll put the blame on Dad for that one, but it's not really his fault, but it's all good. So we got it all cleaned off and we'll get it put away. But if you guys like these videos, come back, you know, let me know what you think. We'll see you next time.